Maddie, first of all, congratulations and welcome to Seattle. Second, for you, I mean, when did you know that this was going to happen? Did you have a feeling maybe the night before? Was it earlier today? Or when did you kind of know that you're going to be joining the Kraken?
Honestly, you never really know. Anything can happen on draft night. I definitely liked the Kraken a lot, doing the interviews with them, and kind of throughout the whole process, I liked them a lot. I thought they liked me a lot too, kind of going through, and they were talking to a lot of my old coaches, my trainers, my PT guys, like a lot of different people they reached out to. So I kind of got a feeling from that. Obviously, wasn't sure, wasn't set in stone, and wasn't really sure, but I'm ecstatic that that ended up to be the case.
Jeff Baker.
Hi, Matt. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'm just wondering, with what you went through at Michigan this year, how do you feel you developed as a player, and how ready do you feel you are to play, against professionals in the NHL? I know you had some time at the World Championships. I'm wondering, between that and your time at Michigan, how you feel it improved you as a player.
Yeah, for me, I think it was a lot of pace at different levels. At Michigan, the pace is faster. Then going to World Juniors to get a faster pace, and then going to Men's Worlds, even faster. Every level, there's different things. I think for me, it was kind of seeing where I fit when I was at each level. I think at each, it was kind of pretty good confidence and kind of a good feel of where I was at and how far I was from kind of playing in the NHL if I could. And I think I did pretty well in World Juniors, at Michigan. Obviously, Men's Worlds was a little harder, but I think it was a good kind of mark for where I was at and what I needed to do. I think for me, it's continue to get bigger and stronger. I think that's something I focused on a lot at this year at Michigan, and along with trying to score goals, produce more offensively, along with kind of playing my two-way game. So, I think I'm not totally sure how far out I am, but I think I'm pretty close, and I think just keep working hard, and I'll be there soon enough.
You've talked before about going back to Michigan for another season. I'm wondering what you feel that'll do for your progress, and how necessary you think that is.
Honestly, I really don't know exactly what the best thing is for me next year, whether it's going back or going to play for the Kraken. Obviously, I think that'd be really exciting to go play for the Kraken. I think going back another year, just keep building the confidence. And, I think a big thing is, not having a real year last year, not playing a full schedule, kind of getting kicked out of the national championship. Those are things that, I want to have a real year. I want to try to make a run at the national championship. Obviously, if that's not the best decision for my development and me as a hockey player, then so be it. But I think those are kind of some perks that something I kind of want to do. So, but I think at the end of the day, it's kind of what is the right thing for me to do as a hockey player and as a person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim Booth.
Hi, Maddie. Congratulations. You and Owen are the first two teammates to go 1-2 in the draft in more than 50 years. I guess big picture, what does that sort of mean? And then along with that, what goes into the process of for you deciding whether you do go back to Michigan for another year, or if you join the Kraken?
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, I'm so excited for Owen. I was so happy for him when he got drafted. Just hearing his name called here in the University of Michigan, it's a sense of pride hearing at least your teammate get called, but especially a guy you're currently playing with. This year was great. He was awesome, and couldn't happen to a better guy. He's so humble. He's such a great person. He works so hard, and that's where he deserves to be. So it was just so exciting for him to get called, and then after me getting called, and I was just ecstatic to be a part of the Kraken and kind of be a part of this organization now. For moving forward, I think that's kind of what as I talked about before. I think for me, it's kind of building strength, building muscle, continue to work on scoring goals. I think that's a big part of me moving to the next level is getting bigger. A lot of bigger, stronger guys. I'm more on the leaner side, but I'm definitely getting there. And I think, a little time will help, but I think it's up to really my family and me and Ron Francis and the Kraken and see what's going to happen moving forward.
Darren Brown.
Hey, Maddie, congratulations. So we spoke to you on the pre-draft availability a few weeks ago, and you mentioned the word, well, you used the word, it would be special to be the first pick ever by the Seattle Kraken. Obviously, you had to keep things a little bit close to the vest at that point, but I'm curious what your thoughts are now, now that you actually are the first ever pick by the Kraken. What does it mean to be literally the first pick in the history of an entire NHL franchise?
There's so many words I could use to describe it. It's surreal. It's honestly amazing. I could not be happier. And I'm honestly at a loss of words just thinking about what just happened. And actually, being drafted in the first place, going second overall and going to a new expansion team. I'm so unbelievably excited and thankful for everything, honestly.
And I'm sure you saw some of the expansion draft or who got picked on Wednesday. Are there any particular players that you're especially excited to get on the ice with?
I watched. Giordano's great career. I think a guy I played with, Colin Blackwell. He's a great guy. He's actually one of the kind of like the guy who mentored me over in Latvia when I was at Men's World. Kind of took me under his wing. I sat next to him in the locker room, kind of showed me the ropes, and he was awesome to me. So I think I'm really excited to get back on the ice with him, and that's going to be awesome too.
Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you.
Luedeke.
Hey, Maddie, Kirk Luedeke, New England Hockey Journal. First Massachusetts guy since Jack Eichel to go second overall. What does it mean to you being that select company? And how important was it for you to grow and develop in New England to get you where you are now?
Yeah, for me, Boston and living in New England, living in Massachusetts, that's awesome for me. I love it here. It's been my home forever. It's just a special place. You got a lot of hockey out here. I think it's just really cool that I'm able to share that with my town, with my friends, family, and that a lot of them can be here to watch me and be with me. And I think that's just really special. And I'm so thankful that to be here with them now.
Ryan Zucchi.
Hi, Maddie. I just wanted to kind of get what type of messaging was going on between you and some of the other Michigan guys leading up to the draft, and how much messages have you exchanged since they were drafted as well?
Not many since we've gotten drafted. I don't know if they're on their phones. I sent them a little text. They'll probably see it with the other hundreds of texts they're getting right now. But I'm sure we'll talk tomorrow. Before, it was really, honestly, really calm. We were FaceTiming throughout the day, being like, "Oh, like, what are you thinking? Like, how you doing?" Ken and Noah were both pretty calm. It was kind of a regular day. And once later in late afternoon hit, then they started to really kind of focus in on it and be like, "Oh, wow, this is today." But I think for all of us, it was a pretty normal day. Go to workout, skate, and kind of do your thing. And then once the night hits, you start to focus in and get excited. But I think they handled it well and weren't too nervous, not too many nerves, and just enjoying the moment. So happy for them too.
Chris Daniels.
Maddie, congratulations. My question for you is, what was the discussion like between you and the Kraken, Ron Francis, in this process, and what do you know about Seattle?
We had a good amount of Zooms. I knew a few guys already in the Kraken organization. Jerry Fortin was he worked with USA Hockey, and I was around him a lot. Tom O'Connor was a Massachusetts guy. Knew him pretty well. He's been there pretty much in a lot of steps in my hockey career. So it's kind of funny that we're ending up in the same spot. But there was a lot of just talking about my game, talking about my family, who I am as a person, and they kind of opened up to their lives and who they were, and there was a pretty good connection off the bat, I think. And so that was really good. I think that's a lot why I like them a lot. was our Zoom calls, with them. It was really personable, and wasn't like you were really getting interviewed. It was really just a conversation between a few guys. So that was great. And then, can you repeat that second part again?
Yeah. What do you know about the city? What do you know about Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, not too much. I've been in Boston my whole life, been out here, and I haven't gone too far away. But I actually like the Seattle Seahawks. I am obviously a diehard Patriots fan, and you kind of gave us that Super Bowl. But no, I know it's a great city. A lot of people have said such high, great things about it. It's a beautiful city, and I think the fan base is great. Definitely watching Seattle games. I watched a lot of actually Seattle Seahawks games. That's kind of the one team that I followed because I like them, and I think that's about it. I'm excited to learn more stuff. Definitely.
Thanks, Matty.
Andy Ide. Andy.
Hey there, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, congratulations. There's been a lot of talk from the scouts about your leadership abilities. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to be a leader in your mind?
Yeah, first and foremost, grateful that other people kind of see me as a leader. I think for me, it's just being a guy that people can approach. Setting the example for other guys, whether it's off the ice, on the ice, in the locker room. For me, the way I lead, I think it's more of not as much talking, saying things people already know. It's kind of going out there and showing them by example, leading by example. Going doing the hard stuff out there, and hopefully guys will follow. And I think that's kind of how it builds really good team chemistry. Guys wanting to block shots for each other. Kind of trickles down, especially when you got different guys do it. That you saw this year, and when you saw World Juniors, you see Matt Boldy block a shot. You're gonna go out the next shift and you're gonna block a shot because he's leading by example. So I think that's kind of the way that I lead. I think for me, I think I'm a pretty approachable guy and pretty attract other people around me and fun to be around too. So I think those kind of all help being a leader in the locker room around guys.
Zach Hawkins.
Hey, Matty, hard-hitting question here. It said on the broadcast that you're a dermatology guy who is a big fan of Dr. Pimple Poppers. How did that interest come to be?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I watched the show, watched all that stuff. I've always been into medical stuff. Kind of switched around, kind of bounced around. I wanted to be a vet for a while. Loved animals, and I've always just loved the sciences and like chemistry, physics, that kind of stuff. Like surgery. My cousin's gonna be a doctor, so that always just interests me a lot. I watched your show a few times. I thought it was pretty funny and cool. So that's kind of how I was like, oh, dermatology would be cool. And I think I brought that up a few times and people loved it. So loved hearing that I actually like that because a lot of people don't like it. So I think that's just how that came to be.
Thanks.
Time for two more here. Let's go, Ryan Clark.
Matty, just jumping back to what you were talking about earlier about making that transition, you look at recent examples of guys who made it to the NHL after one season, Brady Tkachuk, Jack Eichel, Noah Hannafin, names well growing up in Boston. What have you learned about what those guys did to make that transition, and how have you tried to sort of harness that knowledge so you can do the same?
Yeah, for them, I think it was mainly just physical, kind of getting big, getting physically mature enough to be there and produce and make an impact in the NHL. And I think it's a big mental game too. You're going into the NHL with a lot of bigger guys who have been there before, guys who know how to stay in the lineup, things like that. And you got to be ready to battle, get your spot, earn your minutes. And I think those guys mentally were all prepared to do that. And I think it's also a lot about confidence. When you go up there, you gotta know that you're confident with your ability, and you gotta play to your strengths. And I think those guys did that really well. So I think that's kind of just watching that, something that I'm going to try to do.
Last one here, Jeff Baker.
I can't hear you. You're
I
on
think you're on
mute.
mute there.
There we go. Just a rookie here. Ron Francis had a similar two-way playing style for a long time in his Hall of Fame career. I'm just wondering whether you've had any chance to watch videos of him playing, as you know, especially some of the defensive parts. I'm wondering whether you and he ever had a chance to sort of discuss on-ice styles and preferences in that way.
Honestly, we haven't talked about it much. I just know from when he played and who he was as a player that he kind of, or I guess, represent kind of the way that he played. It's pretty funny when I was looking him up, because after he got the job being the GM, you know, I was looking up, watching videos, and I saw that he wore number 10 too. So that's kind of hilarious, you know. Just that he we kind of play the similar style, and he wore number 10. You know, I've worn number 10 my whole life, so that was pretty cool too.
Thanks.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Appreciate that. Thanks, Maddie. Again, congratulations. Welcome to Seattle, and we look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Excited to be a part of Seattle.
All right, thanks everyone.